The smell of lilies still clung to the air when I realized my father's death had turned my family into wolves. We stood in his living room, pretending to mourn, but our eyes were on the mahogany box in the lawyer's hands. The will. My brother Michael gripped his glass of whiskey too tightly. My stepmother, Claire, adjusted her pearls like a queen waiting for her coronation. And me, I stood behind them, the quiet daughter, the forgotten one, the one who was supposed to get nothing. They underestimated me, as always. When the lawyer began reading, I could almost feel the air vibrating with greed. The house by the lake, the collection of vintage watches, the trust fund, all to Claire and Michael. But then the lawyer's voice faltered, and to my daughter, Evelyn, Claire's smile froze. I leave the vault key and all rights to the contents inside. A vault? Even I didn't know he had one. Michael scoffed. He's probably left you old photos and his medals, Evie. Don't get excited. But there was something in the lawyer's tone, a hesitation, a small flicker of discomfort that told me this was no sentimental gift. 2 days later, I unlocked the vault in my father's office. The air inside was stale, cold. There were 3 boxes, one of papers, one of photographs, and one labeled simply Truth. Inside, the last one was a flash drive and a handwritten note. If they betrayed you, let this be your weapon. I trust you'll know what to do. I didn't understand until I opened the files, emails, bank transfers, hidden accounts, all under my stepmother's name. Money she'd stolen from my father's company for years, and worse, love letters to a man who wasn't my father. My brother's name appeared too. Loans, debts, blackmail. My father had known everything. He just never said a word. I stared at the screen for hours, the weight of realization pressing on my chest. My father hadn't given me money. He had given me power. I could have destroyed them instantly, exposed everything. But that's not how revenge works. Revenge isn't loud, it's orchestral, each note deliberate, patient. I started visiting Claire more often, pretending to grieve with her. I brought flowers, cooked her meals, sat through her crocodile tears. She looked at me like I was weak. That made it easier. Michael kept calling, asking if I'd found anything valuable. I told him no. I told them both no. And while I played the mourning daughter, I transferred everything. Bit by bit, I took control of the accounts my father had left untouched. I sent anonymous tips to the tax office about irregularities in Claire's charity fund. Then I sent the first email from my father's old address. Just one sentence. You thought I wouldn't find out. I knew the effect it would have. Michael's paranoia kicked in first. He stopped sleeping. He called me at 3 a.m., drunk, whispering, "Do you think Dad knew?" Claire pretended to be calm, but I saw the cracks forming. She started selling jewelry, moving money. They were unraveling, and I didn't have to lift a finger. Then, a month later, the story hit the local paper. Businesswoman under investigation for embezzlement and tax fraud. Claire's perfect world imploded. Her friends turned their backs. Michael was questioned by police about his involvement. They suspected each other. They screamed, accused, blamed, and I watched, silent, calm, the way my father used to. When they finally came to me, desperate, shaking, I invited them in. Claire's makeup was smeared, her pearls gone. Michael's eyes were bloodshot. "You did this," he spat. "You set us up." I tilted my head. "I didn't do anything. You just showed who you really are." Claire begged, "Evelyn, please, we're family." "Family," I repeated, my voice barely above a whisper. "You made sure I'd never forget I wasn't part of yours," she sobbed. Michael cursed, and I felt nothing. Because revenge doesn't always feel like fire. Sometimes it feels like peace. The company my father built is mine now. The lake house, too. Their lawyers can't touch a cent of it. The documents my father signed made sure of that. He must have known they'd betray him eventually. Maybe he even knew I would finish what he started. I still visit his grave every Sunday. I bring lilies, the same flowers from the day of the will. Sometimes, I whisper, "You were right, Dad. I did know what to do." And when the wind picks up, rustling the leaves like applause, I almost imagine him smiling.